This episode is brought to you by Starry. When you drink Starry Lemon Lime Soda, every sip is a win. Perfect for game time or anytime. It's a crisp, refreshing lemon lime soda that's caffeine-free and bursting with flavor that makes you go, ah. Starry hits different. Find it in stores or online today.
Hello, welcome to Unequal Sequel
Extra.
Yes, it's the Friday edition of your favourite sequel-based podcast. Unless you've got other favourite sequel-based podcasts, because
we should still be your favourite.
Top 5?
Yeah, definitely top 5. Yeah,
top 5 sequel-based podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest, we're probably not even my favourite sequel-based podcast, so, you know.
Yeah, we're pretty good, but there are some other good ones to pick from. As you can hear, Rich is sick again.
Yes, I have a cold. It's nothing serious this time, thankfully, but yeah, I might cough a little bit, I'm sorry.
You know, you've got quite a deep voice anyway, and it is ultra deep today.
Yeah, sorry. I spent my bank holiday weekend, well, part of it, locked in a hall with 28-year-old children. So
28-year-old children.
Yeah, not 28, 28-year-olds.
8-year-olds.
Yeah.
I was like, you shouldn't call 28-year-olds children.
No, true.
That's
I've got all the germs pretty much. It was my son's birthday party. I'm not just a child abductor.
Just getting that in.
Should point that out just in case.
So we've just done a long weekend, a bank holiday weekend here in the UK. And once you listen to this, there'll be another one on just around the corner. Was it a good one, Richie? Apart from that, did you do anything else?
I mean, it was really busy because, just organising the party and getting the party done and all that sort of stuff. And then, that was it really. And then his actual birthday's tomorrow and time of recording. So I've got loads of presents to wrap and stuff.
Busy man. And then you went to the cinema today to a film you really wanted to see.
Yeah, I really wanted to see it, Dave. It's not like you forced me to go and watch it when I didn't really want to watch it.
We're doing really well covering all the sequels this year. We've done really well.
Yeah.
I don't think we've missed any so far. There's one called Missing, which is a semi-sequel, and we'll probably miss it because Guardians will kick that off to every screen possible.
Maybe we'll do it for another slice.
Yeah,
maybe.
Once it comes on online.
Yeah.
So we sent Rich, the big brave boy, and me, I was a big brave boy as well.
Yeah.
We both went and saw Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah. Now, I don't mind the Evil Dead movies because they're quite funny.
Yeah. The second one is. And the third one. Third one's more of a comedy. You're right.
This is not funny.
It was a little bit funny.
It wasn't funny.
I knew you were going to hate it because before we go into synopsis, there's two things that Rich really hates. There's ultra violence, and kids in peril. I would say,
yeah. There's two things that
which is 90 minutes of this film.
This is basically all of this movie.
I was like, you're going to hate this film. You are literally. None of this, I think, fits into your wheelhouse.
No,
because you're not a big fan of horror.
No, not a big fan of just action in general, really.
This just really let you down. Then.
And you're right. Kids in peril. That kind of that really disturbs me more than anything else.
Yeah. So we'll do a synopsis, and then we'll talk about a little bit of our history of the Evil Dead franchise. We've kind of covered on a few. Interview episodes with different people, so we'll do that likely. So over to you, sir, for the synopsis.
Okay. Again, I should caveat, I finished watching this movie 36 minutes ago. So whilst fresh, I also haven't had time to actually write any synopsis down.
It's the best way of doing it. I like the ones off the top of your heads.
Okay. So after a cold open in a cabin in the woods, which is very Evil Dead-y.
I'm going to pause you quickly. We are doing spoilers.
We are doing spoilers.
Because it's been out for a couple of weeks now. We're
Fair
running
enough.
a bit late on everything, but spoilers. If you haven't seen Evil Dead, Rise, don't listen to it. Go and watch the film.
Yeah, go and watch it. Yeah.
If you don't care, carry on listening. Over to you, Rich. Sorry.
So cold open, which is very Evil Dead like. Cabin in the woods, teenagers, blah de blah. They all end up dead in a spooky way. Sorry, this is going to be a rubbish synopsis. One day earlier.
Yes,
like,
I wondered if
10
you
years
remember that.
later or anything like that. But yeah, one day earlier, a family whose names I can't remember. I'm sorry. I wish I could.
We'll get there.
Of a mother, 2 teenage children, a boy and a girl, and a young girl, a child of about, I would probably say 7 or 8, are visited by their auntie, who finds out she's unexpectedly pregnant, and goes home to see them in their soon to be demolished apartment block. Like, it's a condemned apartment block, soon to be demolished. I mean, that's fucking creepy at the start, to be honest. There's an earthquake, and it opens up a hole in the floor. They do mention earlier that their apartment used to be a bank. And the boy kid goes down in the hole, finds a bank vault, and then finds a spooky book locked in the bank vault with some records. And he just happens to be an amateur DJ, so he's got a record player. Because if I found those records, I'd be screwed because I haven't got a record player.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I didn't
But
know
also,
that.
if I found a spooky book made out of human skin, I'd probably fucking leave it where it was. Not gonna lie. So he takes the books up to the apartment, the records, plays the record, and it's a monk, like, describing with what I've literally just found out now, having doing a tiny bit of research, is Bruce Campbell's voice on the record at one point. Yeah, where the monk is saying he's trying to translate the Book of the Dead, and this is a copy of the Book of the Dead. The next record is him reading out some of the incantations from the Book of the Dead, and surprise, surprise, that brings a demon forth, a deadite forth from the book, who possesses the mother of the family. There is a third record, but they don't listen to that till later, quite pointlessly. And then all Evil Deadiness ensues, including, at one point, a chainsaw. That is kind of the synopsis. If you've seen an Evil Dead movie, you sort of know what happens. There's lots of, like, bone splintering noise effects and contortions of bodies and stuff. Although I would suggest it goes one step too far later on, which we can talk about.
Disagree.
Okay.
Great synopsis. You really nailed that one. A history of our Evil Dead viewings. Mine goes back 20 odd years when I got the DVD.
Yeah.
When I think from my uni buying days, when I just bought everything. And Evil Dead 1 is a good movie for people who are at uni studying film.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very like, oh my god, we could do this.
Yeah.
These
so
kids did this.
I watched Evil Dead 1 at uni when studying film as part of my course. It was actually on my course. That's the first time I watched it.
What was the subject? Or just
I think it's like it was like one of the genre studies. So I think it was like horror genre. Like, we did like film studies was broken down into like different things, and there was genre studies was one of them, which was like horror genre, and there was gangster genre and stuff was part of that as well. But yeah, so yeah,
exciting.
horror.
And then you tell someone I watched Evil Dead, and they're like, oh, you should check out Evil Dead 2. It's pretty much just Evil Dead 1 with a bit more of a budget and funnier.
I did not watch Evil Dead 2 until we did this podcast.
Why? What put you off not watching the second one?
Just didn't think about it, to be honest. Like, just wasn't for me. And same with Evil Dead 3. Didn't watch it until we did this podcast.
And then that's a fantasy horror comedy, lacking of the horror, I would say. In that one. More goes in slapstick.
I quite enjoyed Evil Dead 3.
I really like Evil Dead 3. I'm a little bit sad we never really got that sequel to that, but we have had Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yeah, true.
which carries on from more of that timeline than what this is. And then we get to the 2013, which I'm never quite sure if it's a reboot or a sequel or what it is.
I've not seen it, so I don't know. But I always presumed it's a reboot, so there was no point watching it.
Yes, I would also suggest that. I mean, it's got the Book of the Dead in, and I think that's how these things are linked now. But the 2013 one was, I would say, has more DNAs of the first one than, say, the second and third one. Has less of those comedy moments, which I think this one did.
What, had less of the comedy moments?
No, had more of the comedy moments.
Really?
Like the second one.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think I can think of one. But yeah, that's about it.
So you went in. What was your head going in?
My head going in was, I'm gonna have to go and watch this movie because we've got to do it for the podcast. But in any other reality, I would not be going to the cinema to watch this.
Would you even watch it at home?
No, probably not. Not of my own fruition.
You're welcome then.
Yeah. And then I was like, I hope this guy in front of me turns his phone off, because there was a guy on his phone the whole time. But yeah, other than that,
and we'll get through it. But at the end, what were the words you would describe? Was there an enjoyment? Did you like it?
No.
Was it amusement?
No.
Was it
disturbed?
confusion?
I think
Disturbed.
is how I would end it. I found the whole thing thoroughly disturbing.
No, I can understand that, because there is some fucked up shit in there.
There's a lot of fucked up shit in there, man. Like, I didn't find it as disturbing as, say, something that, like, the psychological horrors. I didn't find it as disturbing as, say, like, what was the one we watched? It was like the French one with the cannibal sisters.
Oh, Raw.
Raw. I didn't find it as disturbing as Raw, but I did find all the body horror-y stuff a bit much, and like you say, exactly, the child endangerment stuff a bit too much for me.
I knew that would be a problem, because I could easily watch this again over, say, The Conjuring or the ghosty stuff.
I've not seen that. So
the Bangs in the Nights kind of films.
Yeah, but this had a bit of that though, didn't it? This is a bit.
There's
ghosty.
a bit. Some shit goes on in the back. Someone comes through an air vent and just comes up behind her while she's listening to it. And I was like screaming.
I mean, at that point, I'm like, "You're fucking stupid! Like, just leave one earphone off so you can hear.
Yeah.
You know why?
They do make some weird decisions in this film, like character-wise, but I think that helps towards the plot. And I liked the little nods towards the Evil Deads in there.
Yeah,
like in the first and the second one when they're trying to get away and the bridge is out, and then this one you're like, oh, the stairs are out, and
the stairs have gone.
I did a little chuckle there, but I thought the first scene when the mum is taken over, demonized, I thought was brilliant. Like you said, the sound effects.
The sound effects are the thing that get me. I think
the bones cracking, and her before, like, physical performance, Alicia Sutherland or something. I thought she was brilliant.
Yeah, she's very good. She's got kind of a very, like, a good face for an Evil Dead. I think, like,
it's the smile.
Yeah, very kind of wide smile. Yeah, because the thing for, like, to be creepy in a horror movie, all you have to do is tuck your chin down and look up and smile.
She did that very well. It's even creepy now. Rich is
It's creeping you out, right?
Well, there was a film last year called Smile, and that's pretty much the whole film.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. This was a lot of blood.
Yes, but there was always going to be a lot of blood, right?
Oh, yeah, I mean, but not like... I mean, apparently this is, like, a lot of blood, though, right? Like 1,500 gallons of blood, apparently.
I imagine most of that is from the elevator scene.
Yes. Yeah.
But I liked that. I liked that it wasn't in a cabin.
Yeah.
When it started and it was in a cabin, and I was like, oh, we're in a cabin again.
Oh, here we go again. Same old.
I'm ready to be away from, and I know I've watched the trailer, so I know they get away from the cabin. But I did wonder how long we were going to be in the cabin.
I'm glad we weren't there for very long.
I was relieved. And then it was one day earlier, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. Okay. Because I wondered how that was going to fit into the other story. And then we get to this tower block, which was once a bank, they mentioned. That's why it's in the the archives.
14-story high bank, though. That's quite a big bank.
It's a big bank, and of course it's raining, and of course it's pretty much run down and derelict, and it's all the design of
there's been an earthquake and the power's out, and
it's all very makes it. I think it builds the tension really nicely, and I think also the relationship between the two sisters, the mum and the auntie, they do a really good job in a very small amount of time to build what their relationship is like and being like, and what's going to be online later on in the film. And I think that the three kids are all very good, especially the younger one.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't imagine being on that set and being that young.
No. How do you not get traumatized by that shit? Honestly.
And I was surprised that the other two kids got it. Like, especially the blonde-haired one. The other one I could kind of see coming, but I thought more than one was going to survive, especially one point in the film, the mum kind of returns in deadite form and says, "Don't let them take my babies," and then snaps back. And I thought, okay, well, at least some people are going to survive here. And I was wrong of how many people. And I was also worried for a little bit that from an abandoned tower block, whatever, there wasn't many characters, but then they slowly introduced those other characters that got wiped out in one scene, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. That has got a bit of the comedy in, like, which made me think of, I don't know if is it 2 or 3 with the eyeball? It's 2, I think, isn't it? With
I think it's 2. I think it might even be 3 as well.
Yeah, so there's a scene where she bites someone's eyeball out and then spits the eyeball across the room, and it goes in someone's mouth and then chokes them to death. I was like, that was very Evil Dead. That was very.
Is that the funny bit?
That's the funny bit I was talking about. That was like the one funny bit I can think of.
I think most things she said when she was a deadite, like when we was laying with the maggots and I just want you all to be inside me kind of thing. A little bits like that. It's just I found that
really creepy.
And then I think the nods, there's really early odd nods to what's coming later in the film, especially when you're looking through the book, and that was that big demon that was all kind of put together, and you think that's fucked up.
We need to talk about the ending because...
And then we get to the ending, and the demon they've insurged themselves into each other. And
that is the thing that I find the most disturbing, I think, basically.
It's disturbing.
It's like creates a multi-bodied kind of like...
yes, it does. But I can see
like
how that goes with the story.
Children shoving their arms into their mother's stomach and stuff like that. Sorry. Just makes me feel really ill.
But do you not think that goes with the story? It wasn't unnecessary. It worked.
It wasn't unnecessary, but it's sort of like a bit human centipede-y. Like,
see, I haven't seen them.
I haven't seen that either.
I'm not brave enough to see them.
I've got no wish to see that, but that's what I imagine. That's why I would not want to see it. You know, that kind of body horror stuff. It just doesn't. Yeah,
I was
not for me.
Really, really nervous going to this because, like you, Rich, the older I've gotten, is the more wimpy I've got towards these films. Like when I was young, I used to watch these films all the time. No problem. There was absolutely no problem with blood, anything, gore, people getting ripped apart, whatever. No problem. And now, since probably my late 20s to now, like 30s, let's say a decade, I find these films really hard to watch. And I love the Evil Dead films. I love them so much. And I sat down thinking, I hope my fears don't stop my enjoyment of what I know is going to be like one of my favourite franchises from year back. And I went in there very nervous, very like you, jittery, on the edge of my seat kind of thing. Just hope I have fun with this. And yeah, there are some bits in there that are hard to watch. It really is. But I haven't been able to stop thinking about it in a good way. Like, I've quite enjoyed that. I think I could go again on that one. It's given me a little bit more of, you can do it, Dave. You're a brave boy. You can get through these films better than you think you can.
I don't think it's certainly not going to have the I'm not going to wake up having nightmares about it.
Mm.
You know, it's not.
If anything, it's a bit silly, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It is a bit silly, and I'm not gonna. You know, it's not like some of the horror movies that I've seen that you know, gonna give me psychological effects. You know, I'm not. It's, you know, there's none of that really. It's just a case of, it's just too much blood and gore for me. That's all. I was happy to see the chainsaw come back.
I was delighted to the chainsaw, and at the beginning they showed the tree, whatever, the cutter, what are those things called in the background.
Oh yeah, the wood chipper.
The wood chipper, and I was like, oh, hello, wood chipper. That sounds very Evil Dead. You're totally right though. I could not watch Raw again. That will be too much for me. The stuff in that, just eating raw meat makes me feel a little bit more queasy than putting a limbed up, multiple limbed woman through a wood chipper.
Yeah. Multiple headed as well. It's weird.
It was really, I think design wise, really good as well. And I thought they did a really good job of building tension.
Yeah.
Like, you think they got away, that's lots. And they did a good, like, at the beginning as well, when they're trying to get back in the building from their pizzas and the parking button wouldn't work. So the gate, where I was like, well, that's coming back.
Yeah, me too.
There's so like, many things at the beginning, and we're like, oh, hello. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. And I had a really good time with it, and I felt really pleased with myself at the end. I was like, you've done really well, Dave. Well done. You deserve a treat now. And then I thought, Rich is going to hate that.
You were not. You were sort of wrong. I don't think I hated it. Like, I could see why people enjoy it. It's just not. It's not for me.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate it.
I think it would be good with a crowd. Yeah. Like this opened at South by Southwest in like a midnight screening, and I think that would have been a lot of fun to be a part of.
Yeah,
because it is violent and it is gory and it is bloody, but it is also over realistic.
It's hyper real. Yeah.
So in a way, it's kind of like a comic book movie. I don't know if you ever watched Amazon's Invincible. Is that what it's called? The animated superhero film, TV series.
No. Now
that is violent, and I'm kind of putting the violence together with this.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, oh, that's not as scary as knocking, like banging, like Conjuring's kind of thing, and those kind of films. That's just how I've worked it out in my head, and I look forward to watching it again. I can't really say anything I really hated about it. I mean, it was a lovely paced film. Do you not think it was just over 90 minutes?
Yeah, lovely.
Right.
I can't think of anything massive I hate about it other than just the whole...
It's a beautifully made film, I think.
Genre.
I think it's really... Yeah. But a crafted film, can you watch that and think that's...
yeah, incredibly well-crafted film. Very well made.
It builds nice tension. Everything's well designed.
Yeah. It whips along,
Whips along lovely.
Maybe without that kind of... maybe it just felt like it was missing something. Maybe that's a bit of, I don't know, just a bit more character depth before it all starts. Maybe just a little. Didn't need loads. I felt like there was something missing to making it like something I'd want to go back to. It's not something I want to go back to.
Would you have liked more comedy in it? Would you have them lean a little bit more into Free Army Darkness or even Dead Dude?
Yeah.
When they start chanting Dead by Dawn, though, I was like, there's another nod. That's nice.
Yeah, that's another nod. Yeah, true. And there are decent nods and stuff. You can tell, like, Sam Raimi's involved, can't you?
Yeah. Do you want more talking animals from the wolves, like in the second one, or a limb walking around by itself?
Not really.
I mean, that is fair enough. And in aspects of being an Evil Dead film, where would you rate it? Where would you put it? I mean, this will get us to the unequal sequel question, I guess. But
yeah, so in terms of the Evil Dead franchise, then this is silly because it's not the best, but I think 3's my favourite.
3 has got a lot of love, and I love 3 as well.
I know,
it's different
and
it's mental.
Yeah, it is different and mental.
And Sam Raimi takes a big swing in that film. He wanted to make this like Arthurian, like round table kind of night film. Yeah. And I don't know if that's what everyone else wanted, but he had a shot at it. I don't think it's what the studio wanted.
I enjoy it. I enjoy 3, and I think it's hard to choose between 1 and 2, but I think probably 1 and then 2.
Really?
And then I don't know.
You haven't seen the
I've only
reboot,
just seen this. So yeah, I haven't seen the reboot. I don't know. Dave. I've not seen any of the original trilogy for a while. I've not really thought about them, and I've only just seen this movie, so I need some time to kind of ruminate on it. But yeah, I think 3, 1, 2, this, I think, of the ones I've seen.
Yeah, I understand that. I get you, mate. Don't worry, I know. I knew.
What about you? What's your ranking of these movies then? Because you've seen the
I'm probably
2013 one as well.
Yes, but I've only seen that once because I was, again, tried to be a brave boy and watch it.
Yeah.
This is my first ever seen an Evil Dead film on the cinema, though.
Oh,
and
right,
that was a nice feeling.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I was alive for all of them, I think, at this point. But I wasn't brave enough in 2013.
No.
But I would also put 3 at top. I really love 3.
I really like 3.
I used to have This Is My Boomstick thing as my ringtone on the first phone that you could play, like, record your own sounds effects.
Yeah.
I really like 3. I really like 2, and I really like 1. But I like 1 because what it is and what it.
Yeah, it's the filmmakering bit of it, isn't it?
And I've read the book If Chins Could Kill, the Bruce Campbell book, and how they went about making Evil Dead, and it's just so inspiring, especially when I was much younger.
Yeah,
when you're at that age, and you're like, let's just rent a cabin, and we'll throw a few of our friends through a window, and it's going to be fine. We're going to get like a studio deal, and then we get to make that film again, but the film we wanted to make in the first place, and make it probably a little bit funnier than we wanted to. And then 3 is just it's mental.
It's bonkers. Yeah,
it's bonkers, but
in a good way.
I really enjoy it. And then this one came along, and I thought I was going to hate it. I really did think I was going to hate it. I went in really nervous. And then I came out and I said to Tiff, I was like, you know what? I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it, which is a weird thing to say about a comedy film, and not a horror film.
A horror film, yeah. I think, so would we say this is a sequel to the 2013 one?
No, I listened to an interview the other day.
Okay.
It basically, what links these to other Evil Dead films is the books.
Right. Okay.
They're just going to get found in other places.
Gotcha.
So the future of the Evil Dead films, the director of this, Lee Cronin, has said he's got us an idea if this does well, and they'll let him carry on with this. But if not, Bruce Campbell said the other day that these books just could pop up in history, like past, present, and future.
Right.
And then
Okay.
Deadite's released. But at the end of this, spoiler guys, the Deadite is still released because it's the end. The start of the film is also the end of the film.
Yes.
So the Evil Dead is released and out
There's
there.
Still a Deadite around. Yeah. Waiting.
Which I think is really awesome and really interesting. I'd be annoyed if they go back to a cabin. I'm not quite sure where they could go next. Do you know what I mean? On a boat?
Wow,
in
all
a
sorts
storm.
of things, really. I guess like that. Anywhere you can find and trapped. Like it'd be interesting to see like miners or something trapped in a mine, or like I don't know.
Yeah.
Oil rig workers. Someone trapped on an oil rig and something sinister happening, and not even don't even sell it as an Evil Dead movie. Just sell it as a movie, and then you find out kind of halfway through it's an Evil Dead movie.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I was about to say in the Antarctic, but then I just realised the Thing already exists, and they've done that brilliantly already. So
True.
we don't need to do that. But I think this definitely opens up future stories of the Evil Dead, and I hope they do more than they have done. And I hope that it gets made. I think it's doing okay at the box office for a film this size. It had a 20 million budget. So, mate, a 20 million budget looks incredible on this thing.
It does, yeah.
It was only meant to go straight on the HBO Max, but then it had some. It did really well in testing on screeners.
I think that's right. That it's it's a movie that needed to be on screen. I think
it looked great.
It's the right thing.
I mean, when the elevator lift, whatever country you're from, opens and that they come exploring through with the blood, I thought I thought Shining, obviously.
Yeah.
I think there's some really strong imagery in this. The sound design, I think, is brilliant. Like I said, the bones cracking and just I think the lighting's really good as well. I think it's a really, really good, well put together film, and that makes me respect it a little bit more.
According to IMDb, it only had a £12 million budget.
Fuck off.
$12 million budget.
If that's true, it looks incredible.
And it's made 88 million so far. So I imagine we're getting another one.
I hope so. And I'll go skip into this one instead of being all afraid, hopefully. Let's do the big questions.
Yes.
And hang on, one question. Which bit was your favourite moment?
Oh.
I know you've just seen it.
The end? I like that the little girl survived.
Yeah, I was really worried she wasn't going to survive.
I can't think of a favourite moment, Dave. I don't think I've got one.
I like the bit when the mum gets back in the apartment the
Okay.
second time.
Yeah. I guess the teenage boy choking on the eyeball, I suppose, is probably my favourite moment.
That is good.
So, yeah.
And I like the bit when they've put her in a body bag and the body bag kind of sits up. And then, or the sleeping bag at one point is the other
it's
one.
like the sleeping bag thing, yeah.
And it starts wobbling around. You're like, oh, fuck, these things really don't die. And then also when she works out, she can go in the air vents.
Yeah.
Again,
creepy.
There's big nods to that at the beginning. But
Yeah,
again,
the guy's
good
like,
sound.
my cat's in the events kind of thing. Yeah.
I think it does really good. It's really good. Yeah, Unequal sequel.
I'll be like,
and what
that's why my apartment smells of cat shit then. Sorry, yeah. Unequal sequel. Now, are we saying it's the sequel to the 2013 one that I've not seen, or it's the sequel to the Evil Dead 3?
I would just say it's another Evil Dead film. So
Okay.
just put it up against the original. Whatever ones you want.
I'm saying it's an equal sequel because it's a very Evil Dead movie. Fits nicely into the Evil Dead world.
Yeah. I mean, some points you look at it and you think it doesn't. This is going to sound weird because they had to be so smart with how they made those first ones that some bits in here there are nods to the eyeball flying through the mouth and stuff, but it's a lot cleaner made, obviously, because I'm about to say it has a budget, but barely.
Yeah, true.
if what you're telling me, so it does look and feel like an Evil Dead film, but it also doesn't look like an Evil Dead film, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And I'm
It does make
contradicting
sense.
to myself there, but just
Looks like
because
a
it looks
more
a bit
modern day Evil Dead.
it's a bit
movie.
cleaner,
Yeah.
obviously.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Carry on. Mark it.
So
Out
out
of
of 7, I think it's reasonably good. I think I just don't like it because I just don't like the genre. It's not the movie that I don't like particularly. I just don't like how it makes me feel.
And that's fair enough, Rich. Not everyone. Some people don't like comedies.
But yeah, that's true. That is true. And it's not. I'm not going to penalise the movie for being not kind of what I like. Also filmed in Auckland in New Zealand, which
Yeah, I know.
is
Cool, right?
odd. So I think I'm going to go with maybe a 4.5, 5 out of 7, maybe 5 out of 7. I think that's probably fair because it's a decent movie. It's just
It's just not your movie.
makes me feel a bit queasy.
You know what? I respect that. I don't think it's a perfect movie,
No.
and like you, it's not my.
I think
ideal
some of
movie.
the dialogue is cheesy as fuck. Like it's but it's a horror movie, so
But had to squeeze a lot in quickly
True.
in that film, and I really appreciate that it went quite quick at the beginning. There's no laying around thinking, "Come on, get to the Evil Deady bits."
Yeah.
It starts with an Evil Deady bit, then we're building some characters for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then from then it's just
full on.
it's balls to the walls.
Yeah. I did look at my watch at the point the mum turns Evil Dead and be like, "Whoa, we've still got like a good chunk. This is early that this is happening. In this
We've
movie.
still got like over an hour of mayhem,
Absolutely.
and it does go.
Yeah. So what about you? What are you scoring this movie?
I'm more of a. I'm going to go 5.5 or 6. I'm trying to think what I've given other sequels this year, and I would say there's only other 2 I would put up there with it. I would put John Wick because I think it's great, and Creed 3, and I put this up there with them. Those 2.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the end of the year, don't be surprised, Rich. This is going to be
It's
in
going
the
to be up
ranking
there for
me.
you, right?
I've kept a list of what we've done
and
so
don't
far.
forget we've got Spider-Verse coming. So,
Got a lot of good stuff coming. I really enjoyed it. So 5.5, maybe even a 6. Like I said, it's not a perfect movie. It's not it's not going to hold the place in my heart as Evil Dead 3 does.
Yeah.
And
agreed.
I don't think it's as good as Evil Dead 2, because Evil Dead 2 is one of the best sequels ever, and blah, blah, blah. It's great. It's a lot of fun. It's very violent, but there's something very magical about Evil Dead 2, which I don't think this had. But put it all together, I think this is a brilliantly crafted film, especially if it's the budget you said. I think are we calling this a legacy sequel as well? No, it's not, because it hasn't really got any legacy characters in it. A requel? I don't even know what these words mean anymore. But it's very solid. So yeah, I think it's a equal sequel, and I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 7. It could be a 6 on a rewatch.
Yeah, fair enough.
There's no way I'm going to get my wife to watch this.
Talking of rewatches,
boom, motherfuckers.
Why don't you go and have a re-listen to all of our old episodes, especially our interview episodes, because we're about to make an announcement of when we're going to start Series 5. We're just waiting on a few more guests to say yes and to arrange some recording. So yeah, Series 5 will be coming very soon. So get back, listen to all the other series, loads of brilliant guests for you to go and listen to. Also, catch our little half-hour extra episodes. People seem to really enjoy those. Who would have thought it?
Don't sound surprised.
Well, it's just me and you talking nonsense, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, if you enjoy it, if it's the thing for you, then you can have a little bit more of that on anotherslice.com/unequal sequel. We've got a subscription service there for $2.99 a month, and you'll get Box Set Mentality, our new thing. I don't know what I'm going to call it, and Disenfranchised as well. So there we look at different franchises for Box Set Mentality, and Disenfranchised we look at movies that didn't get the franchise they thought they were going to get or were promised. So yeah, go listen to those. Also, there's sequels to all the interview episodes, and there's also like a few other bits, trailer breakdowns, stuff like that from us too. You'll get at least 2 extra episodes a month from us on there. And yeah, if you want to get in touch, get on the old social media. We are on @Unequal Sequel on Twitter and Instagram, or you can send us an email, unequalsequel@hotmail.com. While you're there, don't forget to give us a lovely rating, 5 stars, please. That would be nice.
I would absolutely love more 5-star reviews and ratings. So if you have got a spare 2 minutes, just write a thing saying,
and we
podcast.
also promise that if you do message in on the social media, we will read out your comments on the monthly roundup special and probably get your name wrong. So sorry about that. Turns out it's not just famous people whose Dave gets their names wrong.
I get flustered, guys, and I get names wrong. I'm going to improve on that. So next May roundup, send in your views of whatever we talk about this month. So we want to know what you thought of Evil Dead Rise, and get in contact, because we read that shit out, and we like getting that kind of stuff, and keep that kind of stuff coming. Anything you want to say to us, any questions, podcasty questions, filmy questions, sequel-based questions, just send them our way. Have you got anything else to say, Rich?
No, I don't.
Let's say get well, Rich, for next week. We're about to record another episode, so it's going to sound sexy for next week.
I'm going to sound really rough in next week's episode too. Sorry about
that. So next week is Return of the Jedi, 40th anniversary edition. Yep. And then a week after that, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Woohoo. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, big one. So it's a goodbye from me, goodbye, and a goodbye from... I'm not trying to get a record deal here. From him.
Bye!
See you on the next one, which is the sequel to this one. Have a great week. I made it through the whole episode without thinking this film's called The Dark Knight Rises, which is what I've been saying to other people.
Well done, mate. I'm proud of you.
Yes! Win!